think I asked my mom one time what a wimpy bar was. I'm not sure. Mama, what's a wimpy bar?
Welcome back, music fans. Today we got a fun album for you. It is Jeremy's week to pick, so I will let him introduce our album for today, even though you already know what it is because you saw it because you clicked on the video.
We're going to be listening to Jethro Tull's Aqualung. Aqualung was Jethro Tull's very first hit album, and it was their hit single. Jethro Tull, it falls into a category called progressive or folk rock. But the origin of it is basically rock and roll was created based off of the rhythm and blues of the native, or not the native, of the of Black America back in the 1950s, and then the British had their take on it. That was the British invasion. And the Americans had a response to that, which was to make their rock heavy, to make their rock dirty. And then the British said, oh yeah, well we can have dirty rock. And that is where prog rock came from, and that is where Jethro Tull came from. Without further ado, shall we get to it?
Yes, and the songs on this side are Aqualung, Cross-Eyed Mary, Cheap Day Return, Mother Goose, Wandering Aloud, and Up to Me.
Okay. You give the countdown.
3, 2, 1, Aqualung.
Sitting on the park bench, eyeing little girls with bad intent.
So thoughts on the first half of the album. Let's go song by song.
Okay, so I'm gonna go back to the track listing here so I can go song by song. Okay, so from what I can tell, it's like the two sides are like two suites. It looks like when I looked at the back of the album, there's the Aqualung suite on side 1 and the My God suite on side 2.
Aqualung, what did you think about that one, Garrett?
Aqualung, I've heard like the first 2 or 3 songs on this album before because Jeremy and I started listening to it one time before, but I haven't listened through it all the way through. I didn't remember very much about anything after Aqualung, though. I could only remember the first song, Aqualung, but this song is really cool. I love the guitar riff at the beginning. It's really memorable. I love all of the changes in it, how it goes to kind of slower with the weird vocals on it, and then he starts getting more like frantic after that. Lyrically, it sounds like it's just a character study about a hobo.
Well, it is, but it's much more than that because the whole point of this album is that it is a commentary on what people think of when they think of society when it comes to religion and what morals and ethics are versus the actual experience of the world. Because that you might see a hobo and you might think, oh, I'll stay away from him. But you don't know what he's been through. You don't know the troubles that he has seen. You don't know why he's the way he is. That doesn't excuse his actions, but it helps explain them. And it helps humanize them. That's the whole point of this album is to try and contrast the human soul versus religion. Like, religion, not saying that religion is bad. This album's not saying that. It's saying that people sometimes get so caught up in being holier than thou, in living their own insulated lives. They don't necessarily have the right perspective in order to not judge someone. And that is...
So it's kind of like taking from the Bible, kind of like the Pharisees.
Yes. Yeah. a lot of that is that parallel, and a lot of that you will see inside too. But a lot of it is seen in Aqualung because that's the way the song goes. It starts out, paints you this horrible picture of this guy sitting on a park bench, greasy fingers smearing shabby clothes, looking at young ladies, just, doing disgusting, and you think, how could anybody be like that? And then it goes to show his backstory whenever it gets a bit more fleshed out in the
Mhm.
exposition and the development. You get to see exactly what's happened to him to make him that way. And what does the song end with? The exact thing that it began with, but you have context for him now. And so you experience that beginning a little bit differently. I
Oh,
love that.
that's so
Uh,
cool.
mhm.
Also, let's talk for just a second about that guitar solo. Man, that was really
Okay.
cool. You could tell it was probably just improvised off the top of his head, but like that was really cool.
It was a really cool guitar solo, and I don't think it was improvised
Hmm.
because nothing ever is with Jethro Tull. Jethro Tull is one of those bands where everything is meticulously planned out when they do their songs.
Okay, so that kind of makes it even more cool. If like they meticulously planned out all these different sections of the song. Okay, so starting out with a banger of a song here.
Mhm. So let's move on to Cross-Eyed Mary.
Okay, so what's this about?
Cross Cross-Eyed Mary. It's it's a funny one, um, because some people who don't know what it's about, they think it's kind of it's hard to explain.
From what I heard, it sounds like it's a story about like a rebellious girl.
Well, no, sorry, but it's
Okay.
what it is it's not about a girl who's rebellious. It's about a girl who doesn't know what she wants.
Hmm.
And on top of that, it's a girl who everybody thinks is stupid, but
Hmm.
she sees the world a bit more clearly, and she's judged, especially when she says, "Laughing in the playground gets no kicks from little boys. Would rather make it with a Leching Gray." And then it says something like maybe her attention is taken by Aqualung.
Yeah,
Um,
I noticed that Aqualung made an appearance in the song as well.
hmm and and so this is more more so about judgment, and yet again, and about how people would think that Mary is an idiot. She's cross-eyed. She's dumb, you know. And it's about that lack of knowledge causing you to judge, causing you to see things in a different way, especially
Hmm.
with her. And it's not necessarily rebellious because that we don't have the explanation for cross-eyed Mary.
Hmm.
Yeah, but we have to think of it in a way where we think, hmm, there's probably more to this, you know?
Yeah, I think my favorite line from that song was she's a poor man's rich girl.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay, so what's our third song?
Third song, it's interesting. It's really small, and it's basically a. I actually think I know the lyrics to this one. Um, it's called "Cheap Day Return," and I think it goes on Preston platform. Do your soft shoe shuffle dance. Brush away the cigar ash. It's falling down your pants. Then, when you sadly wonder, does the nurse treat your old dad the way that she should? She made you tea, asked you for your autograph. What a laugh. There's really not much to this song. He just kind of wrote
Also,
it.
I think if you need the lyrics, they're in your album you have there. I
Yes, but
think maybe.
I'm just flexing at this point.
Oh. This was kind of a short song, and it for me it kind of seemed like a transition into Mother Goose. It was kind of like an intro
Oh
that
yeah,
segued right into it. For me, I really like the acoustic guitar on this one.
hmm The acoustic guitar was pretty good. Mother Goose. I love the instrumentation on Mother Goose with the all the woodwinds. Oh,
Mm. I should have mentioned this on the Cross-Eyed Mary whenever we were talking about that, but like, how many rock bands do you know that use a flute as their lead instrument?
mm-hmm. That's Jethro Tull's signature. That is their signature. Then Mother Goose. I love Mother Goose. It's one of my favorite songs here. Um,
There was more good acoustic guitar on that one. I like
yeah,
that.
gonna be honest, I've never really thought about the meaning of Mother Goose. I just always thought it was great. There's probably some deep meaning, but I just love the way it sounds.
Sometimes it just sounds cool,
Mm-hmm.
but cool guitar, cool flute.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah. One thing that I do want to say is I did realize that there was a part where it said Johnny Scarecrow made his rounds and saw his jet black Mac, which he won't give back, stole it from a snowman. Now, I do think that that has a double meaning
Probably
because
about cocaine or something.
no, a snowman in show business is also known as like a trickster or somebody
Uh,
who can dazzle you but steal all your money. Uh because they can like make snow. I don't know. It's complicated. Anyway, um yeah, but this one is really about the innocence of being a child and how the world sometimes just doesn't care. And this is him um, processing seeing terrible things in the world and putting it through the filter of Mother Goose nursery stories.
okay, so keeping with the theme of seeing things differently than you saw them before.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, I see where that would fit.
Mm-hmm. So, Wandering Aloud. Let's think of this one.
See, was that
It was a very small one.
okay? Oh, was that was the really soft one, like the more
Yes.
quiet, laid back one. Yeah, more good acoustic guitar on that one.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it was good. I don't really have much to say about this one. Uh, it's pretty good. It's kind of about love in a way, but it's interesting because Jethro Tull doesn't sing about love a lot, which is it's weird. But anyway. And then the last song on side one, we have "Up to Me."
Which starts with some weird laughing.
Well, yeah, but it's Jethro Tull. They were probably smoking something. Uh, yeah, this one was also really soft, and I really enjoyed it.
I
But yeah.
thought it
Oh,
was
but
cool.
by the way, I asked. I think I asked my mom one time what a wimpy bar was. I'm not sure. Mama, what's a wimpy bar?
I guess
I'm
it's just a bar, but it's like a weak, wimpy bar.
the restaurant chain in the UK.
Oh,
Oh, okay. That does make sense. Yeah.
we from across the pond probably don't get that reference.
Yeah. But yeah, it's pretty much side one. Side two has some really good songs on it.
I'm looking forward to
So
listening to side two.
so let's begin with side two. We have
Side two.
My God.
In the shuffling madness of the
Wow,
locomotive
that's the
breath.
end.
Yeah.
Man, wow, that was a good album. Okay, I have a lot of thoughts about that side. Like
Awesome.
lyrically, man, half the time I wasn't paying attention to the music because like I was so focused on the lyrics, but I caught musically too what was going on too. But man, lots to talk about there.
Oh yes.
It's
So,
the first track.
My God.
So, you want to talk about it?
Well, yes, but you seem to be brimming with thoughts, but
Okay, like this whole side seems to be about people who are like they claim to be Christians, but they're more focused on well, first I'd like to say I'm a Christian man. I'm not afraid to announce that on this channel. And so that made it even more interesting listening to this album. Um this is the kind of Christians who are Christians in name only, that they're more focused on rituals rather than having a relationship with God. That and in the second song, I know I'm kind of jumping the gun a little bit. It was talking a lot about people who live exactly how they want, and then just say, "Oh, God will save me."
hmm
So back to the first song.
this is really you framed it perfectly, saying that the song "My God" is basically saying, "People, what have you done? Locked him in your golden cage, um, made him bend to your religion, not
Mm,
to Christianity, or to not to follow and have a relationship with God, but to your religion." This is about incarcerating the masses into a mindset of willful obedience of anything and everything that the institution says, instead of what Jesus preached, instead of what is in the Bible.
And I know that's kind of what they had a problem with back in the day with the Catholic Church doing that.
Oh yeah, that's the whole thing is aimed towards the Catholic Church. I mean, parts of it are very relevant no matter what religion you believe in. You know, because this happens to most religions. Because religion is something that's so connected to the heart that of course people are going to try and exploit it. You
Mm.
know, um,
So musically, this song was really interesting, and they include like a choir in the middle of it
hmm
to kind of add that. Or was that the next song?
no, it was this song.
Okay, it was this one. Okay, to kind of add to the churchy atmosphere of it.
hmm It also kind of sounded. Did you notice that the choir? It started off sounding nice, but then it kind of became almost chanting and cult-like. Like
Hmm.
that was the point, was to make it seem a little bit more uncomfortable as it went along. Was to make you go, oh, this is not right. Something's wrong about this. You know what I mean? And
Yes.
so yeah. So hymn 43. I love this song. This might be my favorite song on the second side of the album.
Mm.
It's so good.
It is. It's kind of continuing that thing, but this is the song that it's talking about people who use like basically religion and a relationship because God paid for their sins, they think, "Oh, that's a get out of hell free card and I can do whatever I want." And so it's talking about people who do live exactly what they want and they just think, "Oh, God's going to save me later down the line." And again, that's not real Christianity.
hmm Like, this is my favorite line from the whole thing, is in the bridge there. If Jesus saves, well, he better save himself from the gory glory seekers who use his name in death. Like, that's haven't warmed up today. Apologies, but but the gory glory seekers who use his name in death. That is a
Mm.
wonderful line, because it pretty much encapsulates what the whole song is about. It's, I love it.
This one was good too. After that, we got Slipstream, which is, I think, the shortest song on the album.
Yeah.
It's kind of more another one of those mood pieces that sets up the mood for Locomotive Breath. But what was really haunting about this song is the strings at the end. That
hmm
like it just goes to and it glissandos up and it plays something haunting and it just fades out, perfectly setting the atmosphere for Locomotive Breath.
Yes. Yeah, you're right. There's really not much else to say about this, but you're right. This is the prelude to Locomotive Breath, and then
Oh boy. Man, I don't
Locomotive
know. I don't know
Breath.
if I was ready for that one. Locomotive Breath. I'll
It's
make a decision by the end of this video, but either Aqualung or that may have been my favorite song on the
mm,
album.
it. So there's a part where it says, "Old Charlie stole the handle,"
Yeah, I wanted to
and
know what that meant.
Charlie is in Charles Darwin.
Uh,
It's basically talking about population growth, a large part of this, and it's talking about how people used to be controlled by religion. Like, yes, it's also about population growth, but it's also about this. People used to be 100% controlled by religion, and Ian's not saying that evolution is 100% true. He's not saying any of that, but he's saying that with Charles Darwin's theories, he did cause the linchpin of religion to start to, or like the grip that it had on the world to unfurl or to relax, and therefore nothing could stop the world going the way it's going. Nothing could hold it back.
it was like it
And
said in the song, like a locomotive charging through,
mm-hmm, yes,
and there's no escape. I think what was
and
it? There's no escaping the breath. Is that what it said? Or
I think I don't think so, but I think what it was something like a guy who stole the handle and the train it won't stop going, no it won't slow down, or something like
that's what it
yeah.
was. It won't stop going.
Hmm. But yeah, I love this song so much.
Th-
It's
this song is Mr. Anderson's top moment on the flute on this
ah
album.
very true, very true.
Uh,
He's incredible with the flute on this one.
Like there was some other good stuff with the flute, but this was the best one with the flute. And I like the piano on this one too.
Hmm. So the final song, Wind Up. I love this song because some people who don't dissect the song close enough think that it's a message about how Christianity is dumb.
No, I had
But
the lyrics like halfway through the second side. I pulled the lyrics up because I wanted to make sure I caught everything. The lyrics to this one are basically again talking about people who put more into action and works rather than um, actual religion. That like they're saying that in order to keep your religion good, you got to wind God up on Sunday and go to church and like do X, Y, Z, and that's how you get saved. And again, incorrect.
yeah, it's quite incorrect. One of my favorite lines from the whole thing is the very, very end. Um, it's just it puts that winding up line in context as I don't believe you. You had the whole damn thing wrong. He's not the kind you have to wind up on Sundays. And you just think, oh, that's great. That's great because God has agency outside of us. Of course he does. He's God. And so being almost like using God as if he were a genie,
Mm.
you know, or using God saying, "Oh well, you got to be in good favor with God. You won't be unless you don't know necessarily what each person's personal relationship with God is. That's the big thing is be wary of people who say that they know exactly what you're going through, especially in religion, because that they don't. They don't. There may be several situations, but if they ever assume to know your heart, that is a red flag. That is a big red flag.
And then keeping with the theme of taking a closer look at things, that things may not always seem like they do on the outside.
Yes.
This fits in the big theme of the album.
Oh
Really
yeah.
good way to end the album, and I like how it just ended with him singing and then kind of a chuckle in the right headphone.
Also, did you notice that they ended on a half cadence?
Oh, I don't think I did. Okay, another thing, music theory. Since you're bringing up music theory, this last song, "Wind Up," uses my favorite chord, the major three, like
Hmm.
all
The
the
five of
time.
six, yeah, I love it. The 5 of 6, it brings out so much desperation, yet hope whenever it's used in anything. I love it
Hmm.
to death.
Favorite songs. I'm going to pull up the track listing again. All of the songs were good, but my favorites were "Aqualung," Cross-Eyed Mary, My God, and Locomotive Breath. I end up, you know what? Wind Up too.
Hmm. I'd have to agree with you there. Those are most of my favorites, but I'd also have to put Mother Goose up there too.
Yes, that was a good
Um,
one.
my ranking, I'm gonna give this album a 9 out of 10.
It is pretty good.
Hmm.
Um, my favorite song on the album, I'm gonna go with Aqualung, the title track, but Locomotive Breath close second. And my ranking, man, the second side kind of brought it up a little bit from where I had it originally. I'm gonna give this an 8.5 out of 10.
Oh wow, we're almost the same mind. That's great. We're usually not. Usually I'm the lower ranker. Have you noticed? You noticed
Yes,
the pattern?
it's very difficult though to get a high ranking. Like for me, if I think an album is good, it's like anything a 6 or better is a good album. But if you get like something into the 7s or the 8s or the 9s, then it's amazing. And I'm reserving the 10 for my favorite album of all time.
Oh, okay. Well, this was great.
It was great, and I hope we can do this again next week.